Good Friday evening, August 30th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. 2 people were jailed this week after a Wednesday carjacking in Quincy. The next of kin for a Grant County man have been located more than a week after his death in a rural highway crash. Possible record-setting temperatures for our Labor Day weekend. All the details straight ahead in your full local weather forecast. RiverCom, the 911 service for Chelan and Douglas counties, has purchased 12.7 acres of land in East Wenatchee for a new 911 emergency communications center. RiverCom has been operating from the 3rd floor of the Wenatchee Police Department on Mission Street since 2004, but has since outgrown that space. The new property, located on the corner of Northeast 5th Street and North Lyle Avenue, was purchased for $1.4 million and chosen for its accessibility as well as optimal conditions for radio communications. RiverCom's lease with the City of Wenatchee for their current Wenatchee location is set to end in 2029. Portions of the East Wenatchee side of the Apple Capitol Loop Trail will temporarily close on Wednesday. The scheduled closure will affect sections of the trail from Hydro Park to Southeast 3rd Street and from Northeast 9th Street to the Otobashan Bridge. Douglas County transportation crews will be applying a fog seal treatment to protect the pavement. The pedestrian bridge will still be accessible during the closure, as well as the Otobashan Bridge from the trail section north of the highway. The trail maintenance work is being conducted in partnership with the City of East Wenatchee and is funded in part by a grant from the Complete the Loop Coalition. 2 people were jailed this week after a Wednesday carjacking in Quincy, followed by a car crash. 28-year-old Jose Silva Padilla from Moses Lake was arrested, as well as a 16-year-old who was also allegedly involved in the crime. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say about 8 p.m., Padilla and the youth dragged one person out of a parked Mustang at the Jackpot Food Mart on F Street Southeast and then drove east on Highway 28. The Mustang crashed about 5 miles away at Adams Road and Road 11, and the 2 suspects were arrested after allegedly knocking on doors of nearby residences asking for a ride. Both are now detained, facing possible charges of second-degree robbery, theft of a motor vehicle, and fourth-degree assault. Our Valley, Our Future, the collaborative planning project for the Wenatchee Valley, is one of 8 nonprofits to receive a state grant to prepare for the health effects of climate change. The Climate and Health Adaptation Initiative, which is funded by Washington's Climate Commitment Act, awarded $750,000 to the Department of Health to be shared by the 8 groups. Our Valley, Our Future organizers say they'll use the money to research additional steps to confront extreme heat, declining snowpack, and the effects of wildfires. The Wenatchee-based coalition was the only Central Washington nonprofit to share in the grant award. When we come back, for the first time in 7 years, the city councils of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee held a joint meeting Thursday night, this one on the topic of homelessness. And the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has issued a new requirement for small game hunters and trappers when it comes to bobcats. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, On's, Patagonia, and now a full line of Warrior products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I'm currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Public notice. Never before RV public auction. 5 days only. August 22nd to the 26th. Come down and place your bid with no bid refused. There's hundreds of new and used RVs to be auctioned like Flagstaff, Starcraft, Forest River, Chaco, and Salem. Amazing financing. 0 down and no payments until 2025. There's food and refreshments. And you could be an instant winner of a 2024 trailer or $30,000 in cash. So don't miss the one-time only bid and buy auction sale. 5 days only. August 22nd through the 26th.
Are you tired of getting less for your money? At Abby's, our founders placed over 100 slices of pepperoni on a giant pizza. And 60 years later, they haven't changed a thing. Order real value at abbys.com. Right now, fresh and juicy tomatoes are in season. That's why Abby's is celebrating summer with a special pizza covered edge to edge with beef and Canadian bacon. And if you want it covered with fresh tomatoes, they'll do that too. Enjoy Abby's August special pizza at a very special price.
For the first time in 7 years, the city councils of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee held a joint meeting Thursday night, this one on the topic of homelessness. The city of Wenatchee manages homeless programs for the two cities with a budget of approximately $2.3 million in shared dollars. Glenn DeVries, the Wenatchee Community Development Director who steers the homelessness response, provided an update on the valley's efforts. He says the most recent count puts the number of homeless people in the valley at 482, all but 45 of whom had received shelter services. City Administrator Laura Gloria says Wenatchee will soon appoint a full-time homeless response coordinator to spearhead that work.
So that's the big piece about the homeless response administrator position that we're working to get online. So it really, again, is about public outreach, being responsive, helping on the administrative side of stuff. You know, Glenn has been fantastic in taking a lot of that and will continue to oversee the program, but really having a full-time person on this. This is for us and probably for a lot of you, it's a ongoing issue that we hear a lot about from our communities in terms of concerns and questions. And so having more capacity behind it was really important to, again, have that full-time boots on the ground focus on it. So this position would continue to develop and manage and monitor contracts. So do all of the things that Glenn talked about, but really also have that good in-field connection to be feeding that information directly into the programs and helping us kind of flex and adapt as we need to.
The next of kin for a Grant County man have been located more than a week after his death in a rural highway crash. Grant County Sheriff's detectives put out a request this week for the public's help in finding the relatives of 35-year-old Desert Air resident Ventura Estrada Angulo, who died August 21st in a one-car crash on Road 12 Southeast and Road A Southeast. That was near Royal Camp. Angulo was a Mexican national, and the Grant County Sheriff's Office spent the week after his death trying to reach his family in Mexico without success. Deputies put out a plea to the public on Facebook, and on Thursday they said they were finally able to reach the deceased man's next of kin. His body will be returned to his family for a proper farewell. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife has issued a new requirement for small game hunters and trappers to submit the lower jaw of harvested bobcats back to the state. The state plans to use bobcat teeth to track changes in the population. However, bobcat teeth are difficult to remove, so the state is requiring lower jaw bones to be submitted for them to be removed by Fish and Wildlife staff. Hunters and trappers can request to have a jawbone returned to them once the teeth are removed. The new requirement goes into effect September 1st. Coming up next, if you never knew the difference between a fence lizard and a skink, well, you're in luck. There's a new guidebook on the street. We'll tell you more next in tonight's feature story. A heat advisory has been issued for Saturday and Sunday with above normal temperatures expected through next week. I'll have all the details coming up, plus your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Continental Surf Cup at Lakeside Surf. Oh my gosh.
Each year, Springwater Insurance has been teaching those of you on Medicare how will your health and drug plans change for the next year. Now, we can't give you specifics till October 1st, but what I can tell you is your Part D prescription expense will be capped at $2,000 for the year. Now, on October 1st, your current insurance plan will send you a letter explaining these changes. Springwater Insurance will help you find out what your most cost-effective choice for your Medicare health and drug plan for next year. So give us a call for a free consultation.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCWLIFE app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCWLIFE app now.
If you never knew the difference between a fence lizard and a skink, there's a new guidebook on the street. The Chelan and Douglas Land Trust has issued the latest edition of the Wenatchee Area Field Guide, a compact and portable showcase for the animal and plant species that populate the Wenatchee Valley. Susan Ballinger, who oversaw the project, is a Wenatchee naturalist and fellow at the Land Trust. She says the field guide is a great resource for anyone exploring the Wenatchee outdoors.
This is a product maybe people see when they go to a national park or go to a nature center in a bigger city. These are all over the country. And it's designed to give people an introduction to the animals and the plants that are common in the place that they are. And I had the great privilege of choosing all the animals and the plants, which was a bigger job than I initially thought. I was able to go to a lot of local experts, an entomologist, a wildlife biologist, and to whittle down the list to only featuring this many insects. That's a very hard thing to do. And our criteria was, what are people going to see in East Wenatchee and Wenatchee, in our valley? So we restricted it to the riverfront, the foothills, just barely up into the conifer trees, because we live in such a diverse area. It was a partnership with Chamber of Commerce, and they are supporting us by being a place that people can buy a copy by donation. And then the Wenatchee Naturals program, which I am the designer and creator, provided initial funding for the startup. And the goal is, by asking a $10 donation, we want to sell the ones that we have and have just enough money to order the next set. So it's very much a volunteer donation supported program. The Methow Conservancy has one for the Methow Valley, and we modeled ours very closely on theirs. We did have 3 pages of birds, a bias of mine. I really enjoy bird watching. The 2 pages of mammals. But what is maybe more exciting is we were able to introduce people to big groups of common insects. And then my favorite is actually all of our reptiles and amphibians. Yesterday at the trail, I got to see a little baby fence lizard. So this fall, if people have a field guide, they can pretty much figure out which of our reptiles they might see on the foothills trails. We were able to do a page of trees and shrubs, and with fall colors coming on, you can often use a leaf to identify a shrub, which is nice. And then a lot of our plants, we do have several of these that are fall bloomers. So as you get out in the foothills, we've got some yellow blooming rabbit brushes, and the sagebrush will be blooming soon. And then we did include, of course, our spring and early summer favorites. So hopefully this is designed to make it easier for folks to access information by having it waterproof, stick in your pack. You can beat it up, it's pretty cheap. So it's kind of designed to be used, and how great if you were to wear one of these out. So it's not a special book to keep at home. We have them at the Land Trust office, and we're open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we also have them at the Chamber of Commerce. Again, as a partner, they are handling the sales for us, and it's a $10 donation. But this might be of interest to somebody that's just curious about who their neighbors are. Who are these plants and animals that are living side by side, all of us.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday, and boy, beautiful summer weather out there today. Looking outside our weather window this afternoon down at the Wenatchee Valley, and just nothing but blue skies. And it's not just us here in the Wenatchee area. All of the state, and heck, almost all of the western states, clear skies today because of a large area of high pressure. We'll talk about that in a second. And that's providing all of this warmth. It really warmed up out there today. Tomorrow, we are expecting temperatures in the low to upper 90s. The same goes for Sunday, and then low to mid 90s for Labor Day. There is a heat advisory now for both Saturday and Sunday, where temperatures, if you are a little susceptible to the hot weather, you should maybe stay indoors and find something else to do this weekend instead of going outside where it's going to be unseasonably warm. And as we take a look at our 6-day temperature outlook, nothing is really going to change. Notice above normal for all of the West Coast, and that's over the next 6 to 10 days. Our normal is about 83, so we're going to be above that. And as you'd expect, precipitation now at or even below normal as we get you into the first week of September. But boy, as we mentioned, it was a nice one out there today. Unofficially 88, our high temperature. 83 is where we should be for this time of year, and our record high 97 degrees, and that was set in 1998. This morning 57, right in line with where we should be at 58. Our record low 45 degrees, going all the way back to 1965. Sunrise this morning 6:18, and it sets tonight at 7:43. Getting you into those Saturday temperatures, a long Labor Day weekend ahead, and look at these numbers as we get you into Saturday. Mid-90s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. 94 here in Wenatchee. That goes for Eniat and Chelan as well. 92 for Leavenworth, and 93 the high temperature tomorrow in Cashmere. So summer's still here, and Mother Nature reminding us of what season it is here in North Central Washington. Tonight, high pressure once again will control our weather. Will continue to do so. Clear and mild overnight. Low temperatures in the lower 60s, so nice and mild overnight tonight. For your Saturday, look at these clear skies. Our dome of high pressure goes all the way up into British Columbia, and that means all of the western U.S. will be warm. Mid-90s for our Saturday. 98, by the way, is our record high tomorrow, so we'll be flirting with that a little bit tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, sunny and unseasonably hot. We're talking temperatures mid to upper 90s before we cool down just a little bit on Labor Day. Here's an area of low pressure that'll drag some clouds through, and yeah, some thunderstorms. That is a possibility late in the day, early evening on Monday. Once again, still warm, low 90s for Tuesday. We'll cool down a bit. This area of high pressure moves to the north, and that will allow some northwesterly air to move in, cooling us down, if you can call it that, to about 90 degrees on Tuesday. And then for midweek Wednesday of next week, we're going to warm right back up. Sunny and warm, clear skies again all over Washington state next week. High temperatures right around 90, so that'll be about 5 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. And by the end of our forecast on Thursday, really not much change. Sunny and downright hot. We are talking temperatures on Thursday in the low to mid 90s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. 63 overnight tonight. Sunny on Saturday and 94. There we go for Sunday. 97 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Our record, by the way, on Sunday is 100 degrees, so we'll be awfully close to that. Partly cloudy, and I think we'll have a chance for those isolated thunderstorms on Monday and 93, and then just nice summer weather Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sunny skies with high temperatures in the low 90s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Eric Granstrom with the NCWLIFE channel. If you'd like to come out and help us film football, volleyball, soccer this fall, we've got $75 waiting just for you to become part of our team and get behind this camera and help us bring the broadcast to North Central Washington. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. That's sports@ncwlife.com. And help us not drop the ball when it comes to our sports coverage on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, a happy Finally Friday, getting ready for the Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you get a chance to get out and enjoy some of this absolutely gorgeous weather. The Mariners probably going to have some great weather down in Anaheim as they get ready to take on the Angels tonight in the first of a 10-game road trip for Seattle. The Mariners 68-66, the Halos 55-79. George Kirby on the mound for Seattle. He'll go up against a rookie getting his first ever Major League start, Samuel Aldegheri. He's Italian. How about that? 6:38 first pitch on Apple TV+. Well, the rest of the American League West was in action last night while the Mariners were idle as Houston beat Kansas City to put the Astros 4 games in front of Seattle. Texas beat the White Sox 2-1 to remain 9 games back. The Reds edged the A's 10-9 while the Angels come into tonight's ball game after a 3-0 win on the road in Detroit. Baltimore's lead for the first spot in the wild card race down to 4 games after a 6-3 loss to the Dodgers. The Royals' 6-3 loss to the Astros puts them 2 games up on Minnesota. The Twins were idle while Boston fell to Toronto 2-0. That leaves the Red Sox 3.5 games out, while the Mariners are 4.5 games back in the wild card race. Well, the college football season began for Northwest teams. Well, one Northwest team last night as Eastern Washington was able to get a win on the red carpet against Monmouth. 42-27 was the final. Quarterback Kiko Vesperis completed 26 of 28 passes for 275 yards and 5 touchdowns. Washington State kicks off in Pullman tomorrow at noon against Portland State. That's on CW11. Weber State visits the Montlake Cut to face Washington tomorrow night at 8 o'clock kickoff. That'll be on the Big Ten Network. Central Washington will not start its season until next Saturday at San Diego. Well, the Seahawks are focusing in on trying to install a brand new offense and brand new defense as they get ready to take on the Denver Broncos. Coach Mike McDonald was asked about the installation process and if he's happy with where the team is at this point on both sides of the football.
The concepts that we need are in. Every game you're doing little tweaks here and there, but it's not like you're introducing some new thing and some new language that they haven't heard yet. You're just saying, hey, this is the thing we've been doing, but with a twist. And I think they are able to. That's why you want to get everything in so they can they understand those adjustments. So we're right there on defense. I'm sure Grubb has some more stuff up his sleeve, but seems like their install's been going smoothly.
McDonald comes to Seattle after coaching in Baltimore and achieving one of the top defenses in the NFL. He says he's not doing anything new, just getting players in the right spots.
Yeah, I think the X's and O's, man, they're overrated. It's about how you play. It's about how the 11 people on the field can work, as one. There's only so many things you can do with 11 guys out there. There's only so many DBs you can put on the field. There's only so many people who can line a scrimmage. There's only so many coverage structures. So we're not reinventing anything new. I mean, you'll watch people that watch our tape. They're not, we didn't reinvent defense. It's just, it's a style of play that hopefully that we can recreate here, and that's our plan.
Seattle's first game of the regular season will be a week from Sunday at home against the Denver Broncos. NCWLIFE channel is preparing for the upcoming prep football season. We've got our schedule ready to go. It will begin on a non-league night for Eastmont as they'll host Post Falls on September 13th at 7 p.m. Next up is Wenatchee and Eisenhower on September 20th, followed by Eastmont and Sunnyside September 27th. Of course, we've circled the calendar for some big games coming up. First of all, of course, the Bridge of Sportsmanship, Wenatchee and Eastmont October 4th. We'll do our first broadcast from Moses Lake this year on October 18th against Eastmont. And we'll be back out in Cashmere when the Bulldogs host the Chelan Goats for the Battle of the Bronze Shoe. That'll be October 24th. Coach Brian Bremer at Cashmere talks about the players he has coming back after last year's 11-1 campaign.
Yeah, we have 14 of 22 guys coming back on our starting offensive defense, but strength is up front for us. We have 4 returning offensive line starters. 3 of those guys will be seniors. 2 of them be 3-year starters for us. Whether it's offensive, defensive line, we have a lot coming back, but you're right, we did graduate a lot of skill guys for sure. Graduated Tyler Peterson, Dallin Smart, Josh Maros, Trey Smith, Cade Wilkinson, all guys that went on and played college football and things like that. But really excited to have our quarterback back. Anytime you have a quarterback, especially in 1A football and just high school football in general, anytime you got a QB1, a signal caller, you got a chance in every game.
Jay Foster takes over East Blott's program after graduating 19 of 22 starters, but he's happy about what he has coming back, especially up front.
Ricky Kalonga at nose guard, Tyson Gonzalez at defensive tackle, both all-conference defensive players. We have on the offensive side, we have Abe Garcia, we have Alexis Sotelo. We have some guys that have some experience on that side that can get after it. So the good news is, even though we lost a bunch of guys, we have a lot of guys that have experience, and that's been one of the advantages of us playing as many kids as we do. We've moved Peyton Zielinski to quarterback. He looks like he's won that job, and he started for us as a freshman at times last year at defensive back. Great athlete, great athletic family. So the cupboard's not bare.
Meanwhile, half of Wenatchee starters are back after a 4-4 campaign last year. Coach Taylor Mitchell, taking over for Scott Devereaux in Wenatchee, says they're going to concentrate on running the football.
Starting up front, we're returning 4 linemen on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to miss our center from last year, Jackson Bishop, his brother. He was, great player for us up front, but having 4 linemen come back up front and having a lot of those guys are sophomores, now juniors, is awesome. We have a couple big tight ends that can help block in the run game. First-year starter at quarterback for us this year, who's continued to get better. I thought he had one of his best practices of the spring and summer and fall camp yesterday. So it's nice to see that some of these guys in key positions are continuing to progress and get better. I think Finn Matheson at running back's poised to have a huge year for us. We're really going to hang our hat on being able to run the football this year. And then on the defensive side, we have a lot of senior leadership again up front and in key spots with Austin Vanderkoy. We have Gabe Patterson on the D-line, Logan Lamb at linebacker, Michael Mahuka at linebacker too. So we have a lot of guys that have playing experience. We did graduate a lot of players last year. Jake Devereaux played quarterback for a handful of years for us also. So some key guys that we lost, but I think that we're returning a lot of guys up front where I'm hoping to establish the line of scrimmage this fall. And I think that we'll be in a good spot.
NCWLIFE channel will broadcast 9 games during the regular season and hopefully get a playoff game as well. Have a safe and sane weekend. We'll see you again here on Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.